Holy shoot, my flippin' goats. I didn't see your biatch booties there. Keep that in. Today we'll be ranking curse words based on how useful they are in real life. Classy, I know, but since we are class incarnate on the Luca Levy channel, we'll be doing this video completely without swearing. At all. As usual, we'll be making a tier list and we'll be putting our curse words in the following tiers. Hall of Flame, the S tier curse words, the heavy hitters, the standard setters. All reliable. These are always good to use in a pinch, but they lack an oomph, a zhuzh, that the Hall of Flame has. Mid, all finger, they're nothing really to write home about. You can use them, but they lack character sometimes. Niche Nancy's, yeah, you can use them, but you're hard pressed to find a situation where you'd want to use them over anything higher tier. And Blacklist. These words are just mean, offensive, almost unusable, and for good reason. And for this video specifically, we'll only be ranking English curse words because this video is in English. And if we use Hungarian, Balkan, other language swear and curse words, let's just be honest, our boys would not stand a chance. Now you might be asking, Luca, how exactly do you define usefulness when it comes to cursing? Great question, Lukey's Pookies. I've distilled usefulness into two primary categories. Number one is versatility, and how many situations can you realistically use this curse or swear? And number two is mouthfeel. How cathartic is it to say this word? What does this word feel like? What does this word sound like? And now we're ready to begin. So to give an example of what I mean by usefulness, let's start with one of the GOAT curse words, the F word. Immediately going into Hall of Flame. This word is a perfect way to describe what I call the cut theorem. These are words with aura and vibes that cut through the world itself. And don't ask me how that works. Sometimes it just catches you by surprise. But these are words with sounds and meanings that just sting. I listen to it. K, fa, kfa. You get it. But it's not just that. The F word is the LeBron James of curse words. If you were picking a starting five, you may as well pick the F word 5 times. It fills every role you need on your team. Positive, negative, adjective, noun, verb. Rebounding, assists. It does it all. F you, F me, F off, F up, F around, F-ing F. You can say this word for 5 minutes straight, and people will still understand what you're saying, through your grief and your joy. It is the GOAT swear word. Absolutely Hall of Flame. And now that we have an example of our top tier, obviously we have to put an example in our bottom tier. Blacklist, unusable words. What's going in there? You already guessed it. Skank. Just kidding. Obviously, slurs are going in blacklist. They're not even swear words or curse words. Are they versatile? Yeah, if you're Eastern European or in a Call of Duty lobby, but otherwise, no. They're just mean and demeaning to people, show that you're a bigot. Do they have mouth-cutting feel? Yeah, but when you use them, you end up just feeling bad. And let's just be honest, it's 2025. Using slurs to be offensive just doesn't hit the same way as it did in the 2010s. So if you need an update in your vocabulary, I highly suggest it. But let me give you an example. Since we talked about the F word already, we may as well use the F slur as an example.
Oh no!
Cathartic? Not really, in my opinion. Shout out Digital Footprint. Is it versatile? Absolutely not, unless you're British. Like, how else are you gonna use this slur other than it being demeaning? Like, how are you gonna use this? What's gonna happen here? You're walking across the street, a car is barreling towards you without stopping, you get scared, gay slur! And the driver screeches to a stop and says, phew, that was close. Thank God this person warned me that I was about to commit a hate crime. So yeah, slurs, blacklisted. The versatility's in the gutter, and everything about them is honestly just pretty bad. I hear. And now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna go over every single slur so that you know what not to say. Starting with, let's put something in niche Nancy. I think bastard goes in niche Nancy. It's just trying too hard to sound serious. When have you ever heard someone say bastard and been like, hoo, yo, stuff is getting real right now. This might turn into something I wasn't prepared for. Like, dog, what are we doing? We're not cosplaying Shakespeare anymore. If you're trying to hurt someone, bastard isn't gonna be the way to do it. People don't even know what it means, okay? As a bastard child, let me tell you that. I'm just kidding, internet, don't take that too seriously. But seriously, bastard, when would you ever use this word over anything in the top 3 tiers? You wouldn't. Yes, it sounds kind of cool, but it's not a cathartic thing. It sounds like a mustard! I'm sorry. Bastard. What have we got in Old Reliable? I think bitch is going in Old Reliable, and I didn't censor it because I could just mean the dog. Now, bitch is an interesting one to me because it does have ties to being derogatory towards women, and I don't stand for that, but it has recently been reclaimed to even be used in a positive light. So I think like the F word, bitch can be versatile, it just doesn't hit the same as the F word. I think a good way to describe how badly a word cuts is if your mother hears you saying this when you're a small child, what is the 1 to 10 scale of how angry she would be? Like bitch obviously wouldn't be as bad as the kfa word. Right? That being said, you can be one, you can call one, you can love one, you can fear one. The versatility is there, the cutting isn't there. I like it, the ch sound adds a lot to the word itself, but I just don't think I can put it in Hall of Flame because I have a couple of other ideas of curse words going into Hall of Flame, and bitch just isn't there. I think a great example for middle finger would be the word hell. And at some point in our lives, the word hell would have been higher. But also at some point in our lives, we will have celebrated our 9th birthday. Unfortunately, hell just doesn't hit the same anymore. Yeah, it has good meme potential. You have the what the hell? And the oh my god, bruh, hell nah. Thanks, Luca, for acting that out as a white person doing black memes. Shout out Ariana Grande. You know, hell has that religious connotation, which might bump it up for some people, lower it for other people. But it's basically a seasoning word. You add hell, hella, helly to some words to amplify their meaning. But other than that, it doesn't have that same umph. Unfortunately, there's also something super cringe about hell because it's not necessarily a swear word. But now you can imagine that one white suburban dad down the street who says H-E double hockey sticks to you because he doesn't want his 4-year-old daughter to learn the word hell. And then all you can think about is why you are on planet Earth with this person who should be in H-E double hockey sticks. Regardless, unlike bastard in many circumstances, I wouldn't say that you lose aura from using hell. In fact, it's quite useful, often, but I can't give it anything higher than a middling tier. One of my favorite swear words of all time, the C word. This is the word that I actually think cuts the most out of every swear word. So I don't really know where to put it because its versatility is really low, unless again you're British or Australian. So let's think about this. Upon a whopping 7 seconds of reflection, I think I'm gonna have to make a new tier because I don't think I can put the can't word in Old Reliable with bitch because it's just not as versatile, and I can't put it in middle finger with hell because hell has never seen someone as hard body as the C word. Okay, I like this. I created a new tier I named Limbo. Unfortunately for you in the Americas or anywhere else in the world, you probably don't use the C word that often. Yes, our accented British and Australian fellas use it far more often, but it's just a word that cuts so hard. How many situations can you really use it in? That's a question. Answer me. What's powerful about this word, though, is that even though it's not as versatile as kfa or bitch, if you want to say the word that just cuts through ya, and you don't want to say a slur because we're not those kinds of people, you can say the C word. And maybe you won't end up going to hell. Like the dad. I'm looking at this list right now, and I usually don't think ahead for any of these tiers. I'm liking where this is going. I feel like we're making a solid tier list so far. Wouldn't you say? You hellish bastard. Also, look at this. The way these words are together, it makes it look like one word. That would be a great cuss. But let's put something in Hall of Flame again. One of my personal favorites. Is it a curse? Is it a swear? Not really, but it's close enough to a curse. Ass has gotta be top tier. I would go so far as to say that ass is by far the most versatile curse word. In fact, I could be pressed and make an argument, push an agenda, that ass is the most versatile word. You can add ass to basically any sentence, in any part of the sentence, and change its meaning. Plus, it goes really well with bitch. I could kick your ass. This is an important ass video. You got some big ass muscles that I could use to kick your ass. You can be a badass, a stupid ass, a dumbass. Need I say more? In fact, if you even really want to go there, ass works well with slurs too. Don't do that. Slurs are blacklisted. Stop it. Stop it. We're not in 2017 anymore. Sierra from Love Island. That was a really niche reference that no one watching this video will probably get. Alright, some of you might be asking, why is Skank even on the list, Luca? I don't really know. It just came to mind when I had this idea for this video. That being said, it's either going in Niche Nancy's or Blacklist, and honestly I'm kind of close to putting it on Blacklist, because it feels like if you say Skank, you just walked off of the set of iCarly, and like that curse word doesn't have a place in 2025. Although I'm a come clean. I don't know what Skank means, so maybe we should look that up. What does Skank mean? A disreputable or sleazy person, a steady-paced dance performing to reggae music? No way. Characterized by rhythmically bending forward. Holy back shots. Swindle or deceive, dance the skank or perform reggae music. None of this helped me. Okay, so basically it's a sleazy person. Unfortunately, that sounds a lot like bastard. But bastard, if you can even believe it, has more weight than skank. If you say skank unironically in your day-to-day life, I don't know if I want to be friends with you or even acknowledge your existence, so blacklisted. Alright, let's put damn up in old reliable tier. It's not as cutting as bitch, but damn is another seasoned word that you can really let breathe. You can just say damn and wait for a while and the emotions will get across. One huge downside of damn though is that it does get you voice chat banned in Roblox. Don't ask me how I know. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think it might be our first filler word. Instead of saying you can even say damn. Realistically, right? Like, let's think of a sentence. Let's say you're giving a presentation in your 7th grade drug class and you don't want to use the word Heroin is quite bad. Damn. The 1980s were a great time for heroin, I hear. Okay, that one kind of missed the mark, but I'm pretty sure it's still a filler word. Also, now that I'm seeing bitch and damn together, if you put damn in front of basically any other word, it gives it a whole new meaning. Also, we've still got that religious context. It's just way better than hell. On the other hand, damn's bitch-ass little brother is darn. I don't know who darn thinks they are. You don't have a seat at the big boys' table. Who uses darn unironically? I would use darn if I was like a youth camp counselor for like 8-year-old children. Which I would never do, by the way. let me just say that right off rip. Darn is so weak. It's by far the weakest thing here after slurs and skank. Like you can see like a pastor using darn. Do you really want to be associated with that? No. I mean, while we're at it, we may as well put turd in niche Nancy. It's not even a curse word. Honestly, that's just another word for poop, which we'll get to again. But it's like, okay, maybe I'll call you a turd if we're both 11 years old and I'm losing at Mario Kart, which rarely ever happens. Then I'll call you a turd. And you'll be disappointed? Question mark. I mean, now that I think about it, I don't know why I added so many words that probably no one over the age of 5 uses. But you know what? It's worth it. If we have a Hall of Flame, we have niche Nancy's. In fact, actually, you might think that frick is in the same tier, but does it actually go in mid? No, dude, frick is a tough one. I'm gonna put it in niche Nancy's for now. It might need another tier in and of itself. It's just that, okay. I know that sometimes people don't want to get demonetized on YouTube because they're holier than thou. So they use frick instead of the kafo word, which as we've established is the goat. It just doesn't hit the same, man. I don't want to say I lose respect for you if you use the word frick. In fact, I'm gonna not advocate for swearing because that sounds like a good idea online. But it doesn't sound as bad as turd, darn, or bastard. So I feel like it could be a substitute word. It's like impossible meat, you know? I actually love that explanation. I think frick is impossible meat. Do we have another impossible meat curse? I think it might be bastard. Bastard might just be impossible meat bitch. Like, yeah, you can use it if you're vegetarian. But if, you know, if you're a normal person, then just use the damn curse. Just kidding, vegetarians. I love you all. You're so eco-friendly and green and normal. Alright, I don't know why we've been beating around the bush for the S word. This is obviously also going in Hall of Flame. I think out of this tier, it might be the lowest in my opinion. But it's a blue-collar worker, and it just gets it done. I think there's an argument also to be made that the S word has more versatility than the F word. Definitely not more than ass. Ass is my goat. I'd slap that, if you know what I'm saying. But S, while it does have a lot of versatility, it just doesn't have the world-cutting in the same way that the can't or kaffa word do. And you know what I'm talking about. Overall, I don't even think it needs that much explanation. The thing about the S word is that it doesn't even give off the vibes of poop, which, in my opinion, is one of the funniest words of all time. This is standing on business. S word is standing on business. Poop is like, jovial. We're not always jovial. Hall of Flame. Now that raises the question, now that we have the impossible meat tier, does crap go in impossible meat because it's just fake S word, or does it go in middle finger? Because I feel like more people use crap than they use frick and bastard, which adds a little bit of legitimacy to it, in my opinion. Given that I've sat on this for another 7 seconds, I actually don't think it's impossible meat. I think it would go in middle finger. While crap and the S word can mean the same thing, the S word can be used again in a positive light. You would never say, "You're the crap, dude." Do you see how my voice just naturally changed when I said that? Actually, now that I see them together, I feel like hell and crap really do belong together. They're like a high school duo. They're definitely not the popular kids. They're not the kids who get damn bullied. But they'll sit together at lunch. No one will really touch them because they have their own interests, talking about League of Legends or Overwatch or whatever, so it's kind of disgusting. But yeah, mid. Now I'm gonna be honest, this one I also really don't know where to rank. Bussy. It seems similar to bitch to me. Not only for like the misogynistic backing, but it's simply not as reliable as bitch. It's definitely not in Limbo, but it feels like it's higher than middle finger because it cuts more, people use it more, but I still don't love the vibe of pussy. All right, let's leave it in middle finger for now and then think about this. When you call someone this word, you really only mean that they're a wimp, unless your name is Johnny Sins, in which case you're using it in a different context. But bussy is a meme, and that gives it a little bit of versatility, a little bit of Swiss Army knife action, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so we've got the whole like manosphere red pill version of pussy, and then we've also got like the man trying to be sexy saying this word, but really just coming off as like a sexual predator version of the word. So it's really tough to rank, man. Should I put it actually below middle finger is the question. Okay. I've actually given it some thought this time, and I think that I am going to keep it in middle finger because it's strong, but controversial. It cuts, it's kind of versatile. It's just a little ironic that it's mostly used for men, calling them weak, when this is the thing that literally, you know, pushes life into the world, and it's historically considered one of the most painful things a human being can go through. So yeah, I know my biology, ladies. I mean, bitches. Alright, now that we've talked about middle finger enough, I feel like dick actually belongs there as well. Because you're never using it really in a positive light. It doesn't cut too much, but people use it enough to make me think that it's versatile. It's just that whenever you do call someone a dick, it's not like that person's gonna be like, "No! No, I'm a dick! No!" You know what I mean? The problem is if you're trying to insult someone by calling them dick, some certain people, myself included, would probably be like, "I know, you damn bitch." C-word. So honestly, I feel like pussy and dick are a combo for the ages. If you're into that. Not biologically, if you're not into that. I just mean as words. They kind of fit a similar purpose. I don't think that they affect people the way that the words themselves think that they affect people. Like, they'd be a side character who thinks that they're much more important than they actually are. And last but not least, obviously we've got prick here. I'm including this just because, I mean, we're speaking English. We may as well put the British and Australian words in there as well. Hall of Flame, absolutely not. All reliable, you wish. Limbo, nope. Middle finger, nope. Impossible meat, nope. Niche Nancy. I'm not gonna put you in blacklist, but you're just nothing special, man. Prick was probably drafted last in the swear word league. It barely made it in. I don't even know if it's a curse word. You could say the same for ass, but ass is like goat status, so don't even compare the two. What does prick even mean? Hold on. Prick meaning. Classic Luca. Oh, a literal act of piercing with a sharp point. Yeah, thanks for nothing, Google. Prick meaning swear word, please. Prick, slang, is a vulgar word for penis as well as a pejorative term used to refer to a despicable or contemptible individual. So it's dick. Prick has been British dick this entire time? Yo, wait, is that impossible meat? Does that just make it impossible meat? No, but impossible meat suggests that they can be used interchangeably. I feel like if you call me a prick over a dick, I will lose respect for you. It's not the same. Nah, but if frick is in impossible meat instead of kafa, then prick can be in impossible meat instead of dick. So honestly, I'm pretty happy. Let's take a look at this list. And by take a look at this list, I mean we're going to say every single word in order now. Ass, bitch, damn, hell, crap, pussy, dick, frick, bastard, prick, darn, turd, slurs, skank. Honestly, I think this might be one of my best ranking videos yet. Entertainment-wise, that's for you to decide, but for the tier list itself, this one makes so much sense to me. I don't know what it is, but you let me know in the comments down below. Would you agree or would you disagree, and what would you change? But if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. fucker. And if you want to see more videos like this, or have any suggestions for future videos, drop that shit in the comments down below. Any games to play, series to cover, real world things to do, community discussions, tier lists, everything I do for you. And please go check out other videos on the channel. We have a whole library of variety content, something for everyone. Some of the videos just don't get pushed as much by YouTube, which makes me really sad because I try so hard to make everything entertaining and funny. If only you could help somehow. But seriously though, it would help me out so much. I'm trying to build a variety channel on the new version of YouTube where everything's about niches and exploitation. Trying to bring back the YouTube of old. Make a YouTube empire. So help me out, Lukey Spookies. Until next time, I love you. And goodbye.